So guys, here we are, MMA UK News. Stoomboy, as always, MMA UK BJJ show. So talking about Jiu-Jitsu, specifically Grapple Queens, so the historic event that's going to be going down on Saturday the 3rd of September in Portlaoise. That's the Dunmace Arts Centre in Portlaoise. As I said, it's very, very historic because obviously it's an all-female event. It's been coming for a long time. Obviously, females have been putting in a lot of work over the years, just the same as men. As I say, they've been putting in exactly the same amount of work as men, so it's only fair that the females get a show of their own. We saw a great show with Enyo just at the weekend there, and obviously Grapple Queens is going to put on another amazing show on the 3rd of September. So now anybody looking for tickets, head over to the Grapple Kings Facebook page. And it'll take you through to their ticket booking fee. I believe there's also a Grapple Queens page as well that you'll be able to go to where you will be able to get the details from there. There's also going to be pay-per-view, as there always is with Grapple Kings. And the pay-per-view details are through Fight TV. So anybody looking to get the details, head over to Fight TV. As I say, promises to be an unbelievable event. We've got a couple of different tournaments and obviously some singles matches. Now, the one we're going to talk about today is the 8-women blue belt tournament. So my next guest, by way of Canada, Jordan Fordyce, now resides in Ireland, so representing BJJ Cork. So Jordan's an unbelievable practitioner of jiu-jitsu, loves to travel, loves to get about, also competes as well at a high level. We saw recently IBJJF and so on. So it's going to be great to see Jordan on the mats on the 3rd of September. So Jordan, listen, absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me this morning.
Of course, really happy to be here and really excited to participate in Grapple Queens.
Yeah, it's an awesome event. I keep mentioning it's historic because, as I say, there's not been many all-female events previously. I think there's only been a couple that I know of. I think there was one in America, and then we obviously had Enyo grappling there at the weekend in the UK. So, and again, it's great though, because obviously women should have a platform in jiu-jitsu. It should be a high-level platform because, as I said, some of the best matches that I've ever seen involved like Rosa Walsh, obviously a friend of yours, Rosa Walsh. So yeah. Rosa, unbelievable grappler, and always comes and puts on awesome matchups. And we talk about people like Fionn Davies, Mackenzie Dern, Gabby Garcia, and I mean the list goes on and on. So it's not something that's just happened overnight. I mean, females have been putting in work for years to get to this platform.
Yeah, and it's amazing to just kind of recognize that there's lots of women who want this platform. They want to be there. They want to be competing. And I mean, I personally, as soon as I started getting obsessed with jiu-jitsu, I'm immediately seeking out a role model. Like you listed really good ones, Mackenzie Dern, Fionn Davies. When I met Rosa, she has such great energy and I just want to emulate that. And to be able to find sparring partners like this is how you get that started, is you show women that they're there, they're competing, you give them something to work towards, and everybody starts going to the mats and you can spar with whoever you want.
Yes. As I said, definitely some of the best matches I've ever seen involved female grapplers. As I say, I talked about Rosa Walsh on Grapple Fest. I think 3 appearances, had 2 fight of the night. We saw Fionn, we saw Kendall Rusin also fight the night as well. So they're always better. They always put on females always put on a better show than some of the men do. So
I think girls are really hungry for it. They want to say, okay, they invited me to the spotlight. Look, I deserve to be here.
Yes. What about you then, training wise? So as I said, I know that you obviously from Canada, now obviously residing, obviously representing BJJ Cork. How's training going for you? What's the difference between the level in Canada and the level in Ireland?
So my journey, I kind of just got started with jiu-jitsu in Canada before I came to Europe, I'll say, for my PhD. And I started in France. So I went from Vancouver, which has a pretty good BJJ scene. And I did my one competition, a one-off. I was actually starting jiu-jitsu with the mindset that I didn't want to do any type of competition, because I had done competitive martial arts when I was younger, and it just kind of consumed me because I get really obsessed with my hobbies. And so I wanted to stay away from that a little bit, but my dad would kind of push me and encourage me to go to a competition with actually the specific goal of finding more female training partners, because in different clubs, you're a lot of the times lucky if you have one other girl that's there. Maybe they'll be your size, maybe they won't, or your level. So in Canada, there's not a lot of girls in the clubs I've gone to. Some draw a lot, but you kind of have to be lucky and be around a really big club. So then when I came to France, it was I lived in Montpellier and I trained out of Prana Family, and that's where I got my blue belt. So shout out to them for training me and getting me ready. And they have a small club. Not a lot of girls are going there, but some are. And I found that really nice. So then when I came to Cork, the gym at BJJ Cork is a little bit bigger, and there's a pretty decent girl crew. So I was extremely excited to have that. Have some very, very good training partners. Met Rosa, got to train with her a little bit before she went to America. I was sad to see her leave, but very happy for her, of course. And so as I've traveled, it's been really nice. I never thought of myself, I mean, I was just a white belt and now a blue belt, as kind of like helping to encourage people, because I was just a beginner myself. But just by, talking to my friends about my interests and hobbies, I managed to get quite a lot of people to at least try jujitsu, or they at least now know what it is, and have a little bit of a cheerleading crew, and that's cool.
Definitely. And as you are well travelled. I mean, as you go places. Obviously, we mentioned you were in Poland at the weekend. You didn't do any training in Poland. Not this time, but normally wherever you travel to, and we see that through like your Facebook and so on, where you always like to travel and go and train at different places.
Yeah, I always carry my gi with me in my bag. So as long as I have a carry-on, which I didn't have in Poland, that's why I'll take my gi. So I've been able to train in Austria, in Spain, in Greece, and I think in England too. Yeah, it's been really cool, really nice. And I haven't had a chance to train in America, which was too bad, but I'll go back over. I always drop into a couple of gyms in Canada that I didn't train at previously, but it's just nice to meet new people in jiu-jitsu and always make new friends.
Definitely. That's what it's all about. I mean, that's the thing with jiu-jitsu. I mean, it's a great community. It's a very, very good community. It's maybe different from a lot of martial arts, because obviously, as you know, a lot of martial arts, there's different organizations or different gyms don't talk to each other, which was similar to what jiu-jitsu was like back in the day. But obviously, as times went on, social media has played a massive part in the rise of jiu-jitsu and the rise of the community. So it's good to be able to travel and go different places, and everybody seems to know someone. So if you go to a gym and you say, "Oh yeah, my coach is such and such," and they're like, "Oh yeah, I know him. I've spoke to him, or we've fought against each other in competitions and things like that." So so it's a brilliant community for that.
Absolutely. I use competitions or anything. I always say I'm going networking so that I can meet like the girls in the new scene. When I like moving abroad, it's always kind of a little bit weird because you don't know how long it'll take you to make friends. But I always have like just a definite way of meeting some new people. It's like, okay, I have work, and then I have my jiu-jitsu club, wherever that ends up being. And it has never failed me. People are always very fun and very interesting.
Definitely. Got a couple of comments coming in from now my pronunciation is going to be horrible here, but is it El Haji
Oh, that's Cher. We call him Cher. Hey, Cher.
So listen, apologies. Yeah, listen, apologies if I got the name wrong there. But yeah, just saying let's go, Jordy, and then just saying Montpellier misses you.
Oh, I miss Montpellier too. I'll be back.
Yes. And what about Grapple Queens then? So how did you find out that you were going to be on Grapple Queens? So how did that all come about for you?
It was a huge surprise for me. I have, well, I would say I do research. So I had been following and I knew about it beforehand because I wanted to get to know the UK Irish BJJ scene. And so I saw that this was happening, and I was actually making plans to just come and watch as like an audience member. I was for sure going to organize something to go there. And I think it was a couple of weeks after London, and I injured my knee while I was there. So I was kind of recovering and going like, oh, this is too bad, but like, I can't wait to go watch this. And then for me, it was out of nowhere. I got a message, and I don't think I could concentrate properly for at least one day because of excitement. I think I called my family, and for them, it was at least the middle of the afternoon because it was a bit late for me. And then I just kind of like screamed into the phone going like, oh my God, I'm going to be able to go to this tournament. It's going to be so cool. So that was how I found out. It was out of the blue, big surprise, and hugely motivating to make sure that I'm spending as much time as possible on the mats.
Yes. And that's a good thing. I mean, having been on pay-per-view, it means the family over in Canada, friends all over the world are going to be able to see you in this competition as well, which is obviously, it's going to be, would you say that's a good or a bad thing for you? Because sometimes, I mean, with family being there, people get very, very nervous, or family watching.
Okay, so my dad always stays up through the middle of the night to take, if he can't see what I'm doing, he wants to take news of what I'm doing. So he's always there, but when he's there in person, that's a little bit of pressure. However, I am very comfortable making a fool of myself or doing as good as I can in front of people. So that part, that's okay. I want everybody to see and then maybe laugh with me if I make a funny mistake. That's fine.
Yes. What's next for you then? So obviously Grapple Queens, that'll be your main focus. So I know you mentioned you did a lot of research, and you're doing research on the UK and Ireland scene. So what are we going to see from you next, Jordan, after this?
Immediately after, closely after, I'll be in the Irish Open, and that will be my kind of farewell goodbye party, because I'll be leaving Cork just for 2 months. I'll be working in Germany for a little while, so maybe you'll see me at a tournament there. And then I'm going to be trying to prepare for Europeans in Guy in January. Hoping to
Europeans is good. Europeans is brilliant, absolutely great. Obviously, when it was in Lisbon and Odiveas, it was absolutely brilliant, and then they moved it to Rome, and this time it's going to be in Paris. So, Europeans is always a great event. So, you'll enjoy that. You will enjoy it. So,
definitely, it would be very cool to compete at Europeans on French soil for me, because I know all the Montpellier people will be there.
Nice. Well, listen, we're looking forward to seeing you in the 8-women tournament, the Bluebell tournament, on the 3rd of September. So it's going to be a great event. I mean, I'd say see, when you look at the lineup is awesome. I mean, you're talking about some of the top grapplers from all over Ireland, the UK, and so on, are going to be on the card that night. Not just there, but we got one girl I spoke to the other day is from Brazil, and so there's a big mix of different nationalities from all over the world are going to be in Ireland on the 3rd of September.
That variety always makes for really interesting matches, because get like some moves out of nowhere, and hopefully will be a really exciting showing. I know I'll be bringing a lot of energy.
Definitely. And then final thing for you then. So obviously you've been in the game for a little bit, and it's been a great time. You've obviously had a great time so far. Many years to go. Okay, many years to go. But anybody you would like to shout out to? So any friends, family members, teammates, anything like that?
So definitely have to do a shout out to Liam, Julian, everybody at BJJ Cork that are helping me on the mats prepare for this now. I want to shout out to Julian and everybody in Montpellier that helped me get my blue belt. And then shout out to my dad for staying up throughout the middle of the night all the time, even if he's just getting text message updates from me, and for coaching me and pushing me into jiu-jitsu. And Definitely. Of course, also to my friends who I will be forcibly watching me.
Well, listen, I'm going to look forward to definitely seeing you on the 3rd of September. It's going to be an awesome night. So there we go, guys. We're going to have Jordan Fordyce of BJJ Cork. It's going to be in the 8-women blue belt tournament. That's going to be at Grapple Queens. That's the Dunham, now I'm probably saying this wrong, but the Dunham Ace Arts Centre in Portlaoise. So that's I mean, it's a great event. I mean, all-female event, very, very historic, especially for Ireland. First time an all-female event in Ireland's ever happened. So, so it's an absolutely unbelievable event that Grapple Kings have put on. So, anybody looking for tickets, head over to the Grapple Kings Facebook page and make sure you get your tickets directly from them. You can either get it through Grapple Kings Facebook page or the Grapple Queens Facebook page, because there is both of them on there. Pay-per-view, as we mentioned, obviously a lot of people from Canada, France and so on are going to be watching Jordan on the night. So pay-per-view details are through Fight TV. Now, the best option for Fight TV is to probably go for the monthly option, because it works out it's $4.99 US. Okay, so obviously work out the calculations for wherever you are in the world. So $4.99, which is an absolute bargain. The standalone pay-per-view price is $14.99. So I'd say best to probably go for that monthly option, because it is more cost efficient for everybody else. One other comment coming in, just Steve Mack, just saying, yay, Montpellier team. And obviously El Hadji again, just coming in with a fire emoji. So the Montpellier team are definitely looking forward to Jordan stepping on the mats on the 3rd of September. So, Jordan, absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for obviously taking the time to speak to me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Really looking forward to it.
Listen, enjoy the rest of your training, and we'll see you next month, okay?
Okay, sounds good. See you soon.
Take care.